Good evening and welcome to another live stream. We are hoping, we are praying that it's all going to go according to plan this week. In fact, I think the post that I put up on Facebook last week was our equivalent to Apollo 13, as we were talking about the song Space. It was a bit of a disaster, but we are going to pick up Space again this week. And we're hopefully that nothing's going to go wrong. However, if something does go wrong, Nigel has put a link in the chat to a new live stream that we will just move over to the new live stream. So do make a note of that just in case it disappears somewhere. So just cut and paste it somewhere and stick it somewhere if you can. And if it does all go pear-shaped, God forbid, then we will stick the link back up on Facebook. Probably it will be Facebook will be the most thing. So in the meantime, anyway, we are going to do our normal and spin the record deck. Yes, we are. Any second now.
And like men running down below, their best laid plans from here they don't even show. The things we despise or we love are weightless from this far above. Join the chase through the poisoned air. Win the race to make it out of here. The madness within me subsides. I feel like I've never been so high. In space, no one comes first. From space, nobody hurts.
From space, it looks like nothing is wrong.
In space is where I belong.
Oh, here we go. That's what we need. That's what we need. We need a bit of applause. Ah! Ta-da! Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was the song Space, a particular favourite, certainly of mine, and a favourite of our special guest tonight. Tonight on our show we have the one and only Elaine Gilmore. Now, if you go, Elaine who? Where have you been? Where have you been? Her album is on the Korgis.com, which you can nip across and buy right now. It's called Love is the Answer, and it's the songs of Burt Bacharach. And Elaine and I spent ages and ages and ages making that album, and I'm telling you, it's bloody good. It is, so you should buy it. You should buy it. So Elaine is a big fan of that song, and we just happened to be chatting yesterday, and I knew James couldn't come on the show tonight, so I said, hey, why don't you come on? She went, like, nothing like short notice, is there? You know, like, come on the show tomorrow. So there we are. So she is going to come along tonight. She is also the other half of Paul Smith. Now we're going to ask her whether she's the better half or whether he's the better half. Who was the better half? I know what Paul would say, but, you know, Paul Smith, of course, our drummer. So that's what's on the show tonight. We're going to be talking about space. We're going to look at the roots of it. I don't know, for the ones that saw the first 20 minutes last week, you're going to go, this is all old hat. We've seen it all before. We've heard it all before. Yeah, but actually we petered out kind of 20 minutes in, so there's loads more that we would like to talk about this song. So, as always, we have a quiz question. So I am going to pop up the quiz question. And we are going to use the same quiz question as last week because we reckon it's a little bit tricky. So I'm not sure you're going to get it. So up on the screen is the quiz question. Here is the quiz question. What is the connection between space and La La Land? What is the connection between space and La La Land? So that's a very tricky one, that. But somebody somewhere will know the answer, and I'm sure Elaine Brokenshaw's team will be out there hunting. The 17 of them will be out scouring the net and trying to find the connections there. So good luck, Elaine. Good luck, everybody. There's a good few people on already, isn't there? Gary Twitchett, hello. Elaine's brother, David, hello. All the way from America. I forgot to ask, which bit of America is he?
California.
California. Okay, good. My brother lives in California as well. So, yes, familiar with that area. Sorry. Sorry, you can't see me, can you? Nigel's just pointed out the disaster of disasters. You can't see me. You're seeing the blank screen. So that question, get your thinking caps on, and let's have some answers coming up there, and we will later reveal all. Okay, so, what is up for grabs? What is up for grabs today? If you get the correct answer for the quiz question, we are going to show you what's up for grabs. Thank you, Nige. This is Elaine's album. And look at that album cover. That is a good album cover. That is like, that's psychedelia incarnate. That is, so this is Songs of Burt Bacharach, which is why it's all a lovey cover. It's all floaty. It's got rainbows, all that kind of stuff. It's got a full orchestra on it, all recorded here at Shabbey Road. And we spent ages on it. So if you win that, you're in for a treat because it is a fantastic album. Fantastic. Lovely. I'm going to leave that. Can I leave that set up somewhere where we can see it? Can you just, oh, yeah. That's just in shot, isn't it?
It is.
Just in shot. We'll leave that there. And you might notice that just at the front here, we've got some antipasti and some olives and stuff. So if anyone is peckish on the show, just dip in. You should be able to reach into the camera and you should be able to just get some out of there. Give it a go. See if it works. Let's go to the beginnings of the song Space. Where did this come from? Well, when we were recording the album, James sent me across maybe 5 pieces of music. that were in snippet form, and I'm going to play you that in a minute. But I think one of the others that we definitely worked on was time. So there was a little snippet of time, and then there was this space. The beginning of this sounds completely different than it was, but you'll hear it clearly when it comes in, and you go, "Oh yeah, that is it, isn't it?" Here we go. Let's give it a play. Hang on, that's not it. What am I looking for? I'm looking for something that says it's called reflective. Reflective. Reflect on that one. Here we go.
You and me
Love that chord at the end. Spooky, James, spooky. Ooh. So there, that was the original demo. So that's kind of what we worked with. So you can hear that kind of it's all there. And then I worked on that and I kind of wrote some lyrics to it. And of course, a lot of this was based on the series of cartoons that we'd already begun a few months earlier. One of those early cartoons was me in space. And so we kind of started to fit some of the songs around the cartoons. And then later on, when we started writing songs too fast, we fitted the songs. Leah had to make cartoons for the songs. I think the very last one she did was This Is a New Low. It was the very last cartoon she made. And I think it was my idea to say, Chris couldn't believe that anything bad lived in the cellar. And it's him going down the steps of the cellar, and it's just all of these eyes in the dark and some teeth. So that was quite good. So yeah, that's how it happened. I think I've got sonar up on the screen, so I'm going to stick the thing back up here because we've got some quite nice stuff, as you would imagine, on this particular recording. I'm going to. Whoops, sorry, my mic's going a bit AWOL today. I'm going to play you some strings first because the strings on this are really, really, really nice. That would be right. So I'm not going to go right from the top because the beginning stuff is very nice, but it's when it takes off that it's really good. So this is from the middle section on. Not very loud, that, is it? Oh, I know why. There's the strings, pretty nice they are, aren't they? And if you think that was a lot of notes, you should have heard the original one that I wrote. There was a lot more notes than that, and it was James said, "Should we pull it back? Should we just have a little less than that?" And then we worked through it together and got it down to what it is there. But still pretty nice. That, as always with all Korgi songs, there's masses of backing vocals on this, and they're always good to have a little look at. As you can see, there's not very much arrives until we get kind of right near the end, because I guess we always pictured as more or less a solo James floating in space kind of affair, and we didn't want to surround it with too many other things. But we couldn't resist when we got to the end, so this is kind of what it does when it gets to the end. Oh, almost. All right, let's turn some of them on. That's a good idea. So it'll be something like this. Oh, as you can see, there's like the blocks from top to bottom. Blocks at the top, Born to Win. Ava, Emmy, and Jay, like there's about 17 vocals there or something like that. And then there's a whole group of John. There's a smaller group of James underneath, and there's a big group of me as well. So this is what we all sound like together, although more comes in a bit. So Emma and Ava, I think that Emmy and Ava. And I think that's it. Pretty nice, those. I think they were all kind of worked out at the different layers of those kind of all came at different times, really. I think we would have originally had some quite, in fact, I do remember this, that we had some just quite ordinary blocks that were more or less following James. And then I got on my little gadget and I moved one of the chords up one note. And then it kind of really all went a little bit bananas. And then everyone said, "We've got to learn that for live." It was really hard to sing. And there we are. It was all good fun, you know, very good fun. So there we are, strings and backing vocals there, as always, all sounding pretty nice. I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to bring Elaine on. I think this would be a good idea. Oh, but just before we do, I've got to say hello to anyone that I haven't said hello to, and I bet there's a load of people there. I've got to say, smash the subscribe button.
That was easy.
Oh, yeah, it was. Smash the subscribe button on YouTube. Be our friend on thekorgis.com. If you want to buy anything, you'll find it on thekorgis.com. Or there's some stuff on Angel Air as well, the older Korgi stuff, I believe, and some of the greatest hits and stuff like that is all over there. I am going to play
I have a question for you.
Yeah, I have a question for Nigel. Has a question for me, or somebody else has a question.
Gary has a question
Gary,
for you,
hello,
but,
Gary.
before you come off the back end
Yeah.
vocals, do you work your? I think that says VC. Yeah, vocal harmonies out by ear or technically by the notes of the chords.
We would do it pretty much always by ear. Pretty much always by ear. The strings are a completely different thing. That would be exactly all written down first and then juggling with notes and just saying, oh, maybe that's good or maybe we need an odd chord here. But the harmonies, no, all by ear and pretty much always all by ear. I mean, all three of us, John, James and myself, are all pretty good at harmonies. So we would go, oh yeah, that's that chord, it's like that. Could we put an odd note in that chord? Maybe if the bottom note moved up one, that might be really nice. And we juggle it about a little bit. Or sometimes James would go, I've got another one I can put in there. And he'll put in something like an augmented or something kind of odd. But also what then happens is we'll have those kind of, maybe some pretty standard kind of sounding blocks with just kind of one or two odd notes here or there. But then other lines will go on top. So, one of us will have an idea going, oh, that space. Someone thought up that idea on top of the block that was already there. So when you got moving notes on top of moving notes, all of a sudden you make quite more complex harmonies. So it was never kind of the idea in the first place for it to be quite that complex. But once you start layering one thing on top of another, as long as it still sounds good, our philosophy would be, yeah, let's keep going, let's do it. More is more. That's what we'd say. So just before I bring Elaine on, we did this whole Bacharach album, and one of the songs was Alfie, being a huge Bacharach thing, and that has had God knows how many hits on YouTube. I'm going to find out how many hits on YouTube there is now. I'm going to switch this on screen. How many was? Do you remember how many was? Elaine, you'll see her in a minute, but can't remember. Anyway, it kept going up and up and up and up. But
7-ish was the last time I looked.
yeah, so this is the classic recording of Elaine Gilmore and Burt Bacharach both singing together with a full orchestra. I don't know where it is. I think you look closely. George Martin is engineering in the background. So here, I know she doesn't look old enough to have been there in those sessions in the 60s, but this video proves it. What more can I say? Here we go. This is Alfie.
What's it all about, Alfie? Is it just for the moment we live? What's it all about when you sort it out, Alfie? Are we meant to take more than we give, or are we meant to be kind? And if only fools are kind, Alfie, then I guess it is wise to be cruel. And if life belongs only to the strong, Alfie, what will you lend on an old golden rule? As sure as I believe there's a heaven above, much more let your heart lead the way, and you'll find love any day, Alfie.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the time when you just had that enormous round of applause, and I was saying, wow, that's amazing, that round of applause are going on and on and on, that round of the really popular, etc.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, and Elaine said, hi, good to be here, hello everybody, all that sort of stuff.
Thanks for the short notice.
So sorry, I always make at least one mistake.
And that's it.
That's it now.
The only reason for that is just to show that I am human, that I'm not flawless. That's the only reason that we introduce these little cock-ups here and there. So what I was saying was that we go way, way, way back because we were in a Welsh band called the John Oliver Band and Singers. So you and me and Paul Smith. And in fact, Nigel Hart was in the band as well for a little while. He wasn't in the band at the same time I was, but he was in the same time you were, wasn't
No,
he?
yes.
No, he wasn't. No, I just missed him. He was in
joined a
the
bit
other
later.
band. He was in the Badiga band by the time I joined.
Great memories. Great
Well, some of them were great. Yeah, some of them were great. I mean,
great.
Barry Island, Barry Island. All right, everybody happy, hello campers. I just remember standing in that ballroom looking out at the grey sea with the waves crashing, thinking, what am I doing here? I started so many summer seasons there, I started about 5 of them. I only finished one.
You haven't got the staying power, have you?
Well, I remember I'd go to John and
I
I'd
did
go,
4.
I've just got one word to say to you, John, and that is Morocco. And he'd go, oh, no, you're not going to Morocco again. Oh, we've only just started. And I go, I know, yeah, I know. Yeah. But secretly, he's going, I can't give you the season back after you go. And I'm going, I know, what a shame.
I don't care.
I know.
I don't care, I'm going to
I
Morocco.
enjoyed those days. I met many friends, people now that I'm still friends with, and it was a good time for me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, all of the
got
people
to
that we
sing.
worked with and everything.
Yeah, I got to sing all my harmonies because we had another female singer as well.
Yeah.
So I used to take, usually any harmonies would straight me. You know, I'd sing them straight away.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, that's right.
So I didn't consider myself a lead singer as such.
Well, you've sung as much lead as anyone else in the
I
band.
know, but I like the harmonies.
Yeah, and you still do, don't you?
Oh,
In fact, she wanted me to know, she wants you all to know, that she sung a load of the backing vocals on this album.
yeah. And
Yeah.
when I listen to it now, I listen to the harmonies. And my youngest daughter, used to take the mickey out of me really about that, because we'd be going along in the car and I'd sing the harmonies to anything all the time. And she'd say, why do you do that? And lo and behold, this day and age, if we are in the car together, she is singing the harmonies. So it's
Yeah.
obviously brushed off.
And in fact, there's the same one that came and sang some harmonies on here.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Lauren.
Lauren.
Hello,
Yeah.
Lauren.
Hello, Lauren.
Yes, yes.
So when are you doing your album, Lauren? That's what we want to know. It's just going to be harmonies. It's going to be no leads. It's just going to be harmonies.
Good idea. Good idea. In my book. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that Alfie.
Yeah.
Lots of people
Yeah.
did.
Did
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
they?
surprised. I'm not
Say
surprised.
hello and let us know.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. There's a lot of great tracks on the album, actually. Have we got a track list on here?
Yes.
Can
I
you?
was gonna say, it's
Do you
so
want to?
good.
Do you want to spin them through the track list
so
on there?
good. I
Just
called
tell them
Mike-
what's on it.
I called my cat Alfie.
Did you?
Yes.
Do you keep saying to it?
What's
it all about?
Alfie? Exactly. Yes, well, we start off with Do You Know the Way to San Jose? And then we've got This Girl's in Love with You.
Oh, yeah.
This Guy's in Love with You. The Look of Love.
That's really. I love that version of Look of Love.
I love them all. Yeah, and then we got Close to You, which of course we changed.
Yeah, it's a much
Like-
slower version, because when we're having discussions for this album, I said to Elaine,
We had a
there's
few.
a lot of slow songs on this album, and she went, I'm doing Close to You, and I went, oh good, that'll be a slightly faster song, and she went, no, we're doing the slow
I do it
version of it."
slowly. I like the slow version.
But a few of them, I mean, San Jose is
Paul
that's quite
starts that off
fast.
quite quite well, and then we go to Anyone Who Has a Heart
Yeah.
heart,
Oh, I love that.
which you like that one, and then Arthur's Theme, which is
Oh,
always been
yeah, Arthur's theme. And
all together now.
Simon Allen on sax on Arthur's theme is
Yeah.
just, I think anyone that knows their sax players, Paul rung and he went, I've just had the sax solos through from Simon Allen. And he said, I tell you what, if David Sanborn had sent them through, it wouldn't be as good.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
fantastic.
amazing. Yeah, so we had a choice of sax solos to use on that, but we went
Yeah.
with something that was a little more jazz, didn't we? Something that was a bit
did.
more himself.
Yeah. And I've always loved that song growing up in the
Yeah.
80s when I first heard Christopher Cross
Yeah.
sing it. Always loved the song,
Yeah.
and it was a dream to actually record it.
And these are
So
all kind
enjoyed
of
it.
these are all new arrangements of these. So some of them may have similarity to other songs that are out there, but they were all kind of tailored. And should we do this? How do
we
you fancy
changed,
doing that?
yeah,
We changed
which
loads
was
of
the
it. Yeah.
fun. That was
Yeah.
the fun for me. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed the fact that we changed things as we went along. It's great. So
What else we got there?
Arthur's theme's great. God give me strength.
God give me strength.
and hurry.
Yeah, yeah. That
Well, a lot of people have said that. They don't know
it's
that.
the Elvis Costello song that he wrote with Burt Bacharach. He did a whole album with him, and that's the lead track from the album, and it is absolutely amazing. I think that's my favourite ever Bacharach song.
Yeah, yeah.
It's God Give Me Strength, and it was a bit
It's
of
I
a
think
vocal
it's
workout, wasn't
from
it?
a film called Grace of My Heart.
Is it?
So it was used on a film called Grace of My Heart, where it's been a while
Is that
since
when
I saw it.
that girl
The
was
girl
singing?
is in the studio
Yeah.
singing, and she's the songwriter, and she always wants to be the singer, so she has a go, and she's sort of rocking back and forth singing it sort of.
It's quite angsty, isn't it? It's a
sheepishly,
really
you know,
angsty
sort of,
kind
yeah.
of performance.
Yes,
Yeah.
awkward and
Yeah.
not very confident,
Yeah.
and but a lot of people have said they've never heard it, but wow, it's just got something about it. I can't explain.
I like Elvis Costello's version is really good as well. I mean, again, it's with the Bacharach Orchestra, so it's a big sounding thing, and of course we've got orchestra on
and
here.
I
and
think
it's
it all
huge.
sounds like a Disney film, really. Every time you hear it,
There's loads of different
You hear
sections, isn't it?
different
And it
things.
starts really low, it ends up just going really high. There's a brilliant guitar solo on it. I don't know who plays that.
It's there. I'll have to listen again.
Do you know this one? Gary Twitchett says, there was a brilliant medium-paced Bacharach song covered by the Searchers and the Fortunes, This Empty Place.
This no, that's This Empty
I don't think I
Place.
know it. I don't know it.
He believes Scylla and Dion recorded it.
Right. Dion Warwick?
I
Not
presume
sure.
so.
Yeah.
I presume so.
Yeah, not Dion. I'm the wanderer.
No.
I'm the
Dion
wanderer.
double N-E on the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
I think I have heard it. But yes, we'll have to look that up.
We
Who's
will
who
have to
mentioned
look
that?
that up.
Gary
Gary Twitchett. Gary Twitchett.
Okay, well, we'll have a listen. We'll find out. And we might do, a little bit more. Well, of course, I mean, the whole idea was that, why not?
We got to the end of the first album and she's going, we need to do more. I don't want to stop recording. I want to keep going. I go, you can't afford to keep going. It's like,
Well, it's only money.
yeah. How many more thousand do you want to
How many
spend?
more musicians
Yeah.
do you want?
Let's have the 98-piece orchestra instead of the 70-piece. Why
Why
not?
not? Why not?
God Give Me Strength
has
is
raised a lot of
amazing.
interest.
Yeah,
yes.
that's amazing.
And then we got the title song, where Love Is Still the Answer, which is so appropriate for these days as well. And a lovely song.
Yeah, and in fact, it's Bacharach looking back, isn't it? On all of the songs that he wrote in the 60s, where it was all so hopeful and all of that sort of stuff, and looking back 30 years later and going, do you know what? Where did we go wrong? That I used to think it was all in hand, and now look at what's happened to us. So very relevant for these times, and also a brilliant song. I think "Love Is the Answer" is such a great song. Great,
Absolutely.
love it. But most people wouldn't know that song. But those two tracks will stand out
Those two
tracks for me.
tracks. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, A House Is Not a Home.
Yeah. Very nice.
And Walk On By, which features Lauren on back and
Ah, it does, yeah.
And of course, then Alfie, and then What the World Needs Now to finish.
And later on, we're going to actually play you a little video that we did for What the World Needs Now, because we released it at the time for the NHS. It was just at the start of the COVID thing, and we were nowhere near through the album, were we? We maybe only recorded the first 4 songs or something like that, because we did them in batches of maybe 3 or 4, didn't we?
Well, we were
Something like
thinking of putting a show together at the time.
Yeah.
And of course, we were all sort of.
Yeah, but the album was way off finished when we released that, and released it for the NHS for all the kind of key workers doing that stuff.
And people bought the download, and we raised.
Yeah.
340.
Yeah. Well, what amazed me though was the count on Facebook. That by the time we'd done the first day, there was 1,000 views, and the second day another 1,000. And you go, okay, it'll slow down now. Third day, another 1,000, then another 1,000, another 1,000. And it kept going for weeks.
Yeah.
And
I don't know where it's at now.
It's now 93,000. It's had 93,000 views on Facebook, and that's without the other platforms, the other places that people have looked at it. 93,000.
And of course, the video features our families, and other friends, and the musicians.
Yeah, that's right. Some of the musicians had played on it, like Bruce.
Oh, where do I start with Bruce? Because Bruce
Adams.
Has been down the jazz club in Swansea. I've known Bruce for a few years now, and I happened to be talking to him at the end of the night, and he said, I told him that I was recording this album. Bless you.
Thank you.
And he got in touch with me the next day and said, Elaine, I'd love to be on your album.
Scottish.
Oh my God.
Bruce Adams, a trumpet player.
Dream.
He's one of the top British trumpet players. He tours with his own band, goes around all of the prestigious stuff. He's just an amazing player. And when he came to the studio, it was the first time I'd met him. And it turns out I went to the same school in Glasgow.
Oh, I know how.
And so I said, oh yeah, I went to school in Kelvin Grove, and he went, oh, I was down the road from you at Woodside. And I went, no, hang on. It was Woodside I went to as well. So yeah, it was slightly different times, about four or 5 years apart. We went to the same school in Glasgow.
Amazing.
I must be said, obviously I don't have a Glaswegian accent. I was only there for a year, so it didn't it didn't manage to get rid of my Australian accent. But I did manage to put "I" and stuff into sentences
and what
with
a
the
lovely
Australian accent.
afternoon we had.
Oh yeah, and
Lovely.
everything he played was just like, he went, should we do a muted one? We'll do a normal one. We'll do, brilliant,
Smooth.
brilliant, amazing.
So thank you, Bruce.
Yeah.
Look him up, Bruce Adams. He's got
Yeah,
a nice
he is.
new album out as well, and fantastic, nice guy.
And so because we'd had all of those hits on What the World Needs Now, is Love, we thought actually that we probably should just re-release it, and this time just with a thought for what's going on in the world, and maybe should we give the money to Ukraine charities or however that works,
Yes, I was
I mean,
looking at that
in
this
several
morning.
weeks, who is going to need the most help? It's probably going to be the people who are fleeing the country, isn't it?
It's the people, and I'm sorry to say, I know I'm animal mad, but the animals out there struggling. We've got the Humane Society I donated to last week, and there are various paws, something paws. So there are animals that need help as well. So we'll share it among people and animals.
People and
But,
animals.
oh.
And people who are animals. We won't share it amongst the people who are
Unbelievable.
animals. We'll just share it among the
No,
people
those
and the animals.
corgis aren't having any of it.
Corgis.
But no, it's
They're
awful,
animals.
unbelievable times. So we would
Yeah.
like to help, and I think it's a good idea to help out.
Yeah. So I
In
guess
that
where will
way.
that go up? It'll go up on all the usual places.
Yeah.
So this is a slightly new version of it, because when we first put it out, the album wasn't finished and it wasn't mixed, and then we actually did loads of tweaks to it afterwards.
Oh, I hadn't sung it that many times, and then with things, I think the more I sing a particular song, you grow into it more, and then you think, oh, I should have sort of sung that. I should have maybe done this, and I still feel like that. I mean, why don't we just record the whole album? Oh no, but it's yeah. So this is a one of the version from the album, isn't it? We're going to use, I think.
Yes, it is, which sounds really, really lovely. That's right. So we will. Should we play that now?
Yes.
Should we play it? Let's find it. So somewhere here, MP4. Oh, it must be this. I've obviously forgotten to title it properly, I reckon. Oh yeah, that's right.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you want to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for
what do you think of that? That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Very powerful. I
Very good.
haven't heard it like that for a while, and yes, it's actually quite powerful for right now.
So recording this album, we didn't get a whole orchestra together in a room and hope that they got it all right together at the one point. So I think it was done with Nigel Hart on piano, myself on bass, and Paul Smith on drums. And we kind of recorded them in batches of 3 or 4 songs at once, put the rhythm section down, and then built the orchestra around it afterwards. And we did that until we had the album. Probably did in 3 or 4 rhythm section sessions. And just those sessions were great fun as well, just with the 3 of us.
I went through some tissues. Always crying with the strings, those lovely. Oh.
And we were making
Beautiful.
the Korgis album at the same time. And of course, I'd play Elaine the new Korgis song. She'd be going, "Oh, yeah, that was I really like that one."
It's so wonderful being in the studio and hearing these songs being created.
They sort of come to life, don't they? They gradually come to life, and you know,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's
The first time going back to space, because it's lovely that you asked me to come here tonight, because appropriately really, because I've always said straight away I loved space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the first time I'll never forget the first time I heard it. I was in the car driving up the motorway with it on quite loud, and space. I was listening to the demo, the first CD that you did,
Yeah.
and the first mixes, and then space came on. Well, couldn't see the road. I was crying, and it was atmospheric, and it was it was out of this world, and all the see what I did there. But it was such a fantastic song. It is wonderful to hear it all building, and I just think that the world needs to hear this album.
It's interesting as well, because it's because lyrically it's really about. I've often thought this, that we go through all of these daily routines and all of this weird stuff, and then we fall out with people and all of that, and then we've got problems with neighbours and all sorts of things. And if you were outside the earth looking in, you would look down and go, isn't all that so trivial? Doesn't all that mean nothing? It means nothing. And that if we could only go and look outside our lives and see how the things that get us head up are really true. I mean, relationships. Paul Simon wrote a song, and it went, you're good, you introduced me to the whole neighbourhood, you're good, I've never met anyone so good before, you're good. And it's like 3 verses, and the last verse is, well, it's goodbye, and here's the reason why, because you like to leave the window open, and I like the window closed, so goodbye. And that's it, and that's kind of how trivial, a lot of our lives are, isn't it? It's like, I was talking to Kerry the other day, and I went, what is it about me that really irritates her? And I know there's a lot of things about me that really irritate her. And she kind of,
you had a lot of time
she
on
thought
your hands.
really hard about it. And she went, it's when I get up in the middle of the night and you've left your boots like there. And it's like, can't you just leave them over there? And I went, yeah, I can. No, I can do that. That's no problem. And she went, well, that's one thing that's, we've solved. It's like, I went, well, if that's the worst thing that you can possibly think of, then we're doing all right, aren't we?
That's right.
But it was so funny. It's like when you think about what is it that's wrong with this relationship? You go, just let your boots there. And I'm going, do you know what really irritates me is when we don't need peppers and you buy peppers. That's just like, that's it. That's the end. That's the idea of space, that you're outside the earth and you're looking in, and all of that really trivial things that are trivial now seem completely unimportant. Yeah, completely unimportant. So that's good.
And
I'll tell you what.
last couple of years, sorry.
Yeah.
This last couple of years has sort of made us see that even more, hasn't it? What is important to us.
Well, it's done both things, though, hasn't it?
Stuff.
That you can either look at the big picture, but with so many people being locked inside, they actually find it harder to see the big picture, because all they can see is a picture from when they're in their house. And I think it's all, there are so many mental health issues these days because human beings are not meant to be closeted away. We're meant to have interaction with other people, and that's what keeps us sane And you look at other people and you go, oh, I thought I had bad, but they got it really bad.
Well, it's a funny thing that I actually love to hear my music in the car.
Yeah.
But over the last couple of years, we haven't been allowed to travel far in the car. And I wasn't doing those journeys that I used to do. And I missed that, really missed that.
You just sat in your drive.
I did. I did a few times. I did, but you know, I like it loud as well.
Yeah.
The music needs to be loud.
The hell with the neighbours.
Well, I'm a very considerate neighbour. Please don't write in, neighbours.
We're going to read the competition question again.
Yeah.
So I am going to pop it back up on screen.
On screen. And of
And
course, the lucky
Elaine,
winner.
would you be so kind as to read the competition
Yeah, of
question
course.
for us?
Of course, what is the connection between space and La La Land?
What is the connection between space and La La Land? And I will tell you now, nobody has got the answer right. And when you know what the answer is, you go, of course it is. What silly me. Why didn't I get that? Elaine, you'd be kicking yourself. When you know what the answer is, you go, why didn't I get that? So we, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's a way that I can give a clue. No, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it up on screen because just people ponder on that. I'm going to give a little bit of a clue. It's nothing to do with music. Okay? It's nothing to do with music. There we are. I'm going to take it off the screen now. You can ponder on that little gem. Yes. Something else we have to give a shout out here. Yeah. James, in this picture, is with a cow. Lots of people like that. I really like this picture. I think it's very silly, but it's very James. This is from, we have some friends in Liverpool. Chris Hopkins, who co-wrote 2 of the songs on Cartoon World, gave me a call the other night and he went, hey Al, there's something happening in Liverpool. There's a bit of a movement. There's a Korgis movement going on. So, and they love this picture of James with a cow. So could you give a big shout out to...
It's my picture.
A big shout out to Yale, Zero, Noah, Sirius, and Dylan. I assume Dylan is Chris's son. I would assume. There's not going to be a million Dylans, is there? There's only very astute people who would name their son Dylan.
We have a Sirius online. I don't know if it's
Got a
the same
Sirius.
Sirius.
Oh, it could well be. Hello, Sirius, if that's you online. Hello, and welcome, and thank you for joining us. And sorry it took so long to give your shout out, but there we are. Big shout out to Yale, Zero, Noah, Sirius, and Dylan. And thank you so much for tuning in from Liverpool. And if you haven't tuned in yet, of course, you can always get this on catch up. So that's good. Yeah, there we are. What else have we got? Oh, we should actually just once again say, I think we got part way through the smash the subscribe button. Join us on Ask Us. If you have any questions that you get this on catch up or something like that, you can ask us on thekorgis.com. Under the contact section, there's something that says ask us something, and that goes through to our joint email. So if you've got a question for me, you've got a question for James, got a question for John, we can all see those emails come in. So ask away, anything you like. James always says, I can't remember anything, so if you're asking questions about 1972, I probably don't know the answer. But hey, ask him anyway. It keeps his brain working. It's good for him. Good for him. Yeah. You know. So do or if you want to subscribe there, we send a newsletter out every now and then, which sometimes will give you the advance information on new gigs that are happening, etc., etc., etc.
Sirius says, that Dylan is not my brother. He's a different Dylan.
Wow.
He's a different Dylan.
Yeah.
Well, there we are then. Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
And Gary Twitchett wants to know, is the cow named Agnes? After the Staggering
Do you know what? It should be really, shouldn't it? But this cow was actually in Born to Win's house that they had when we first met him, when we used to rehearse there. So all the early rehearsal pictures you see and videos you see are all from that house. And in their front room was just this picture of the cow on the wall.
Yeah.
And it was just like, well, we got to have a picture of James in front of that. That was good. And of course, Nigel did take that photograph.
My first photo session with him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. At the time, it was James Warren and Friends, so all those early pics from the James Warren and Friends, and we still use them, a good few of them here now, all came from that session in that house. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Where else are we? I'll tell you what we have. Oh, sorry, I'm still not through. Smash the subscribe button. Join us on the Korgis.com. Also on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Korgis are on all of them. I think practically all the Korgis pages that you'll find are ours. There's the odd one that was made by a fan. Someone, I think there's one in South America or something like that. But generally, if you can find the Korgis or the Korgis featuring James Warren, they're all ours, and we tend to post to them all. Or you can pick up messages or ask us anything on any of those.
And LinkedIn.
Yeah. LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let the guys know what you think of the album and the new songs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
'cause it's nice to hear. Back
Yeah, I
from
mean, we had a lot of
everybody.
feedback. I always ask people about favourite tracks and all that. And do you know what? They're all different. I think
Well,
at
yeah.
one point, someone has said that every one of those songs has been a favourite
And
track.
it depends what mood you're in, doesn't it? When you're listening to things, you know, it's
Yeah,
you can enjoy one song more one
Yeah.
day than the other. And
that's right.
fantastic.
I think I think
Like
we
a Disney
opened
film.
the show with this last week, but I'm going to play again the live from the 100 Club. So this is Korgis live from the 100 Club, doing space, and listen to James's voice in this. This is just like, really?
Yeah.
You like that live as well as in the studio? So annoying. So annoying. So let's find that. I reckon it's this one here. Yeah.
And like men running down the road, the best laid plans from here they don't even show. The things we despise or we love. I wait less from this far above. Join the chains through the poison win the race to make it out of here. The madness within me subsides.
It looks like nothing is wrong.
In space is where I belong. Ava and Emmy.
We're going to go back to 1992.
There we are.
Fantastic.
Space at the 100 Club. That was a great gig. And of course, we will be playing that on any other gigs that are coming up, of course, which there are a few. I don't think we've got a list written down of all the gigs that are coming up because there's a few new ones that have gone in. But they will all be on the website or they'll all be on the Facebook gigs sheet. The quiz. Okay, so nobody's still got the quiz. I can't believe nobody's got the quiz. Okay, so if it's not music, we have several different elements that it could be, isn't it? Is it music? Is it video? Is it pictures? Or is it cartoons? That's all I would say. Is just think about those. What could it possibly be?
Listen carefully.
Think about that. So you've got a couple of minutes, and if not, Elaine's keeping her album. Not giving it to anyone. Huh? Got to win the quiz to get the prize.
As my school report used to say, you must try harder.
That's right. Yes, please, if you could, please. There. We have, I think on my little promo for this, when I had my space helmet on. We could do that, couldn't we? We could do that. Okay, so if anyone wants to know how we ended up getting James in space into a spacesuit, it was, of course, trick photography, because everything we do is a trick. Everything is trick photography. And it's a little something, I kind of like to use these phone apps. So if you see us with faces, you know, for instance, in Always a Sunny Day, Paul Smith is the Teletubby son. There's a little app called Reface where you can just put a face in and it'll put you into movies.
Paul.
You're Paul. Have you not seen that?
No.
Oh, all right. We
notice
might
that.
well, you know, kind of.
Gosh, I really do need to go and get
we,
my eyes tested.
maybe we'll play the video again.
Oh,
we'll play the
gosh.
video again, and you can have a look. And
I shall look with more
Paul
interest.
is the
Even
Teletubby
more
son.
interest.
Yeah.
Oh my
So that's a
gosh.
little app called Reface. And then this particular one is Snap Camera. And it's actually for Snapchat. So if people want to have little cat ears on during
So
Snapchat
clever,
or
isn't it?
anything like that.
It's a bit of fun.
And they've made a whole load of different spacesuits and stuff like that. So we gave this a little go earlier on. And I'll see if I can get this to work. It would be good if... Sorry, I'm just going to close some things here or we'll get all stuck. I don't think I need that anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that. Hang on. Excuse me talking to myself. And excuse me turning my back
Kerry doesn't
away.
mind that. No, she doesn't mind that.
So, I'm going to put this on screen. So, sorry, this is a little bit small, but I'll put it in the center of the screen so that we can see it. And there you can see that. And I don't know if you noticed, but that is a little Elaine there. So, Elaine, if you just gradually just get a bit closer to that camera over there.
So I try it again.
Yeah.
Here she comes.
And, oh, yeah.
Can you see me?
And there she is. That's very good. It's very good. So that is Snap Camera. So if you ever fancy having a little bit of fun with the video, that's one of the tools at your disposal.
I'll have to
do.
watch this back because I
'Cause you couldn't see it.
couldn't see what it looked like.
We all tried it. We tried to walk up, and the minute you turn your head away, it
Exactly.
disappears.
It's
Yeah,
facial recognition.
It doesn't work. So yeah, that's all. That's all. That's all quite good fun, and that's how the video was kind of made, like that. So that's all cool. On my promo last night, I said that the reason James isn't on the show today is because we were away for the last day and a half somewhere, and I was going to tell him about where we were away. And I think this little pic will give you a clue as to maybe what we were doing. Because there is us at Brighton Pier with the legend that is Mike Reed. So that's Mike Reed, the Radio 1 DJ from long ago, who was on all those Top of the Pops performances. We were asking him, and the last one he did was the 2006, the very last program, where they got all the DJs back together. And so he was on that. So we were with him. We were with Mike yesterday. And Mike, of course, runs the Heritage Charts show. And also he has just started the Heritage Chart TV show. And that's what we were there for. And it's very exciting because we filmed, we did a load of filming, and we filmed a live version of Always a Sunny Day. We've been attempting to do some little dance moves. In fact, I sent a message on WhatsApp like 2 days ago, and I went, guys, do you realise that we are doing Always a Sunny Day on TV, and we've never played the song live? It was in the studio only. We've never played it. And not only that, but we need to think about what we're looking like and doing some. So have a look for that. That may well be on, I don't think it'll be on this Sunday's one, but it might be. So you can get to the Heritage Chart TV show. It'll be on your local channel. So that's either 7 or 8 on Freeview, or 7 or 8 on, it'll be on your normal list of programs where you'd find BBC One and BBC Two. Number 7 or 8 will be your local station. So in Cardiff, it's Cardiff TV, in Birmingham, it's Birmingham TV, Liverpool, it's Liverpool TV. But if you can't get any of them, then you can look on the website. If you just put in the Heritage Chart show, they put up each episode after they do it. So you can just catch up on there and have a look. And we are climbing the charts on there. There's a few different charts we're climbing. Some not as quickly as others, it must be said. The one that I'm thinking of particularly here is on the Hit Tracks 100 Dutch chart. We've gone up from 98 to, wait for it, 95. We have. Okay, so we're screaming up that chart.
Is it harder to climb as we get
We're screaming up that chart.
as we get older?
On the Heritage chart, we've gone up to number 22 this week.
Great.
And so that is doing pretty well. I think we were 29 last week or something like that. But because, of course, Mike has been playing it on his TV show, we'll reckon it's going to keep going up. So do vote.
Yeah.
Do vote for it. Just tap in the Heritage Chart show.
It's easy.
And it'll come straight up. And you just hit vote. You can vote for as many as you want, but we don't mind you voting for other people as long as you vote for us.
Absolutely.
Right? We don't mind. We'd like people to have a fair crack of the whip.
He's looking
in fact,
really
Mal
well.
Poper's in that chart.
I voted for Mal
I
as well.
voted for
I
Mal
told
too.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
But Mike's looking really well.
Isn't he?
Yeah, I
Isn't
think it's
he?
the music.
And he
thing.
was great, and he
You're all
sounded
looking quite
exactly
well.
the same. It was good to hear him. They've got several stages there, so that we did interviews with him, and they do that on a green screen stage upstairs. But it's actually a venue, so downstairs they have a proper stage. So we did the filming on the stage, and we came up and did the green screen interviews. So that, of course, is a fake photograph, that is.
No.
It was a fake photograph because that's a green screen photograph. But they are both photos I took.
Yeah, but
That was, as I was driving away, I thought, I've got a picture of Brighton Pier. I'll take a picture of
walking
Brighton
around in your suits then.
No, we weren't. Mike said, I feel a bit underdressed. And so other charts we're in.
Yeah.
We are in the Fab Radio chart, and we're not in this chart just once. We're in the Fab Radio chart twice. We've gone up to number 8 with Always a Sunny Day, but we're at number 2 with Bringing Back the Spirit of Love. And there seems to be a bit of a resurgence that radio stations have started playing Bringing Back the Spirit of Love again. So I would think when Always a Sunny Day has done its decline, then that may well hit all the charts again. And we'll see how that does. We'll keep a monitor on it, but let's hope. We reckon that deserved to be a number 1. Bringing Back the Spirit of Love deserved to be a number 1. And we're going to give it a damn good go. And if everyone is with us and everyone votes and all that, maybe we can make it happen.
Yeah.
That would be very nice. So shall I play Always a Sunny Day again?
Oh.
Shall I do it? And then you can look
I've
at
only
Paul
just got it
as
out
the
of my mind.
as the Teletubbies son. You can
Yes.
look at your other half. So let's see if I can find it.
It's a fantastic song. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to have to find that somewhere. So I'll go back to us. Talk to them. Tell them.
I can't get this out of my mind. And when Joe said something about it the other day, I said, Always a Sunny Day? Vote for Always a Sunny Day. I can't get the damn song out of my head. Oh gosh.
It's a catchy little
Waking
thing.
up as soon as I wake up in the morning, it's going around in my mind. It's great, and it's a feel good. It's a feel good, happy vibe, even though the lyrics are, about feeling low down below and
High up above.
high up above. Yeah, but it's fantastic.
So I've seen if I can
Enjoy.
find it.
Are you playing it now? Yeah.
I'm gonna try and play it. I'm trying to find it. I might.
It's worn out.
I might need to go. I think I need to go somewhere else to find it. It's going to be down here. Let's
Like
have
the next
a little
room.
look. No, it's not that far away. It's very close now. So here we are. I'm going to stick it up on screen, and this is always a sunny day.
You'll be having those offers for dance, Strictly Come Dancing. You.
Look at us both, we were just like brothers in that old photograph. I became a persistent scholar, and you took up fighting the flag. From anti-establishment ethos to a nowhere man without a home, while I flew up to heaven and made my living as the emperor of Rome. And it's always a sunny day when you're living life above the clouds. How come it's raining on me? Choose how to spend your day. Turn and smile when there's nowhere to sleep and there's nothing to lose. Always a sunny day when you're living high above the clouds. It won't stop raining on me. Take that rain and turn it into a rain. Nowhere to go, nothing to show, no colors to build a rainbow. Along the way, our window shadows. The streets are restless tonight. Down here, I'm just chasing the shadows, trying not to lose the fight. The playground of the angels is a wonderland we all should see. Say it's not true that we're all locked into our destiny. Stuck with what will be, will be. And it's always a sunny day when you're living life above the clouds. How come it's raining on me? Choose how to spend your day. Turn a smile when there's nowhere to sleep and there's nothing to do. Always a sunny day when you're living high above the clouds. It won't stop raining on me. Take that rain and turn it into a rain. Nowhere to go, nothing to show, no colors to build my dreams and fly away. I'm stuck here on with my stuck on if I could fly away, just ever set me down. Yes, it's always a sunny day. Yes, it's always how to spend your day. Sunny day. How come it's raining on me? Always a sunny day when you're living high above the clouds. Take that rain and turn it into a rain. Nowhere to go, nothing to show, no colors to build a rainbow. When you're living above the clouds, no money to build a rainbow. It's always a sunny day. No money to build a rainbow.
Brilliant.
Always a sunny day. Elaine was just talking about the choreography for that, and of course how that was done. Of course, we were all together and we practiced for hours and hours and hours.
It shows.
Not really. Actually, we all did each of those parts separately, and I had to remember which way I'd said to move your arms first. Unfortunately, I got it all right. Otherwise, it would look a complete mess.
Yeah.
Probably would have still been funny if it would have been all wrong. It still would have been funny.
I think
So that would have
Arlene
been
will
all right.
be in touch. Arlene Phillips will be in touch, and you can expect a call, I'm sure, from BBC and the Strictly team. You never know.
So
If you're
maybe
available.
we should start the new Korgis choreography school
Yes.
with
yes.
a K. Korgis choreography with a K.
Absolutely,
There we go.
everything with a K.
And then we can probably do that. So I think we've kind of covered most things, other than, do you know what? Nobody has won the quiz question. Nobody has won. I know. I'm going to tell you what the answer for the
not
proper
trying.
answer is. Yeah, I know. It's actually really easy, but it was just required a tiny little bit of lateral thinking. I said we got 4 elements. It could be music, it could be video, it could be photographs, or it could be cartoons. I intentionally finished with the cartoons so that I might be last in your head.
In your head.
So you go,
No.
hang on a minute, which cartoons actually fitted with which songs? Well, Al in Space obviously fitted with space. Well, what happened to Al after that? What was Al's next cartoon? And of course, the next cartoon is my re-entry has gone off course and I've landed just off Venice Beach in LA. So there's a connection between La La Land, which of course is a song about LA, and me being in space. So there we are. That's it.
And
But
nobody got it.
nobody got it. But rather than nobody getting Elaine's album, that would be a tragedy. No one got Elaine's album. That would be a tragedy. So we reckon that, Ingo, you had the best answer, and we went, oh, that was a good answer. That is, and he said that Tesla
Drivers in La La Land.
Tesla drivers in La La Land.
And Tesla goes to
Tesla
space.
goes to space, and we thought that was at least as good an
Genius.
answer as the one that we were after.
Definitely.
So Ingo, the album is yours. We hope you thoroughly enjoy it,
On its way.
and
Let us know.
well done. Yeah,
Let
well
us know
done.
what you think. If it's good. If you enjoy it, let us know. If you don't,
Keep it to yourself.
bye.
Okay, fantastic.
I hope you
So
enjoy.
I think we are gonna sign off now, and we're gonna eat the rest of this antipasti here. We're gonna sign off. Thanks so much for joining us. We had no disasters, no Apollo 13s
There we
this
are.
time. Only
There we
Apollo
are.
11s.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us. Next week, what song are we up to? We're up to This Is a New Low. We are. I think we're up to This Is a New Low. We will most likely do that song next week, unless we need to switch for any particular reason. One of these live streams, we're going to kind of go a tiny little bit off course, because in the middle of April, I am going back to Liberia, and every time I say about Liberia, people go, "What? What's that all about? Why Liberia? What's in Liberia? What you?" And it's quite a big story. It's quite an interesting story. It could be very important. There is a tiny little Korgis connection in the fact that although we don't have a new album in the pipeline, there is a little song called "Going Back to Liberia," which could be a fun little song to do. So while I'm out there, I'm actually going to get them to record some bits of the chorus. We are also doing some new recordings of some old songs, maybe just 4 or 5 old songs, and there is a particular purpose for that. I'm not going to say what that is at the moment because contracts haven't properly been signed yet. But we are doing a new version of This World's for Everyone. And John Baker said, "Hey, that'd be great. Can you get the African choir on it?"
yes.
And I spoke to the guy who kind of runs the organisation, and he's an American guy. And he went, "Hey, man, they'll do whatever you say, whatever you want them to do. They'll do it." All right, so I kind of go, "Okay, fine, great." So yeah, we might be doing some bits and pieces for the Korgis out there in Liberia, but the story of that is a completely different thing. And for that, I will probably be joined with Hegsy. Mark Hegarty, proper name, but everyone knows him as Hegsy. So I'll be joined with that. That's probably in 2 weeks perhaps, because I think that'll be just before I go, or something
Exciting
like that.
times.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
I know.
really fantastic.
I know, that's right. So thanks, Elaine, for coming.
you.
That was fantastic to have you
Thank
here.
you for having me, and I hope you've enjoyed what you saw and heard. And let us know what you thought.
Of course, if anyone wants to buy the album, you will find it on Elaine Gilmore's
Keep in touch.
site. Yeah, but you'll also get it on the Korgis.com, and there's a link which takes you directly to her site there. And that's probably the easiest way to
Yes.
get to it
Yeah.
and grab it. But it's definitely well worth grabbing.
Thank
It's
you.
kind of, it is, I know, it's one of
Thank you for
I've
everything you
still
did.
got it in my car, and I played it last night again. I just listened to going, oh, that's
So that's
really
why
good.
you called me. It jogged your memory.
Yeah, I can't remember which came first. Whether we were talking on the phone and then I played the album, or I was playing the album and decided to give you a call. Can't
I
remember.
had my cousin call me last week, and she said, I listened to your album and it made my journey to London very quick and smooth, and I enjoyed it. So that was nice.
There we are.
I thought she hadn't received it. I hadn't heard anything from her for weeks. So lovely. It really is nice to hear from people and to get feedback. And
Yeah, and thanks for everyone for joining us. It was really good.
Absolutely.
And we didn't need to use the emergency live stream.
No.
I don't know if I can reschedule.
Hey, round of applause.
It's because we had an emergency, isn't it? It's because we had
Hey,
it
that
in
was
place.
easy.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
come on.
That was easy.
that was easy. There we go. Brilliant.
Just like that.
Brilliant. So we are going to play out with the proper video for Space, if I can find it. That's going to be my next challenge, isn't it? Yeah, let's go across here, and I reckon I can find that here, and I
What a
reckon that's
treat.
probably where I
A
played
treat
it from
for our
last
ears.
time.
You've got it.
So here we go. Thank you so much for enjoying us, for joining us. Nigel, thank you very much.
No problem. See you next week.
And there we are. And yeah, we'll see you next week. And we're
Thanks,
going to
Al.
leave you
Yeah.
with Space. Here. Honest.
And like men running down below, their best laid plans from here they don't even show. The things we despise or we love are weightless from this far above. Join the chase through the poisoned air. Win the race to make it out of here. The madness within me subsides. I feel like I've never been so high. In space, no one comes first. From space, nobody hurts.
From space it looks